I think he's going to cause some problems from this side.
Might accentuate the drift. This has been mowed out towards deep mid wicket. It's going to land in the gap and skip over the boundary rope before. Poor man out there, Carline, again has to pick up another ball from the boundary. What are your thoughts on that, Kasim?
Some intent shown, but just as we were just speaking about bowling into the wind from an off-spinner's perspective, another repertoire that can help you out. That held up
Carline,
for a long time.
another ball from the boundary. What are your thoughts on that, Kasim?
Some intent shown.
His top edge, this sweep is going out towards short third man. It's just bounced in front of him.
Some intent shown.
Chance is going to come for Jersey here. They've got to stay. They've got to keep at it. The wind and rain starts to pick up. Greenwood is causing some issues with the drift.
Yep, and I'm not sure whether we missed a signal from the dugout here to get on with it. I'm not sure.
This one's just flat battered into the offside. What has this halfway point done? I think Nepal are almost thinking that if they keep going at this rate, 250 almost won't be enough for them. They won't be content. Feels like straight after a drinks break. It's all happened. Another sweep shot. Samaroa gets a good stop on it. He gets a good hand. Carline comes in, prevents the second run. As the rain begins to pat it out with a little bit more strength. The real angle of the rain. You know, on a windy day where the rain sort of comes in almost at a 45-degree angle, really blowing across the ground here. This one's a bit fuller. Played out towards John T. Janner. It feels like if Greenwood can maybe chuck a few temperatures a little bit above the eye line, these two batters they're wanting to go after it, and there's been a couple of top edges in that over. Well, that concludes it. 129 for one after 26.
Yeah, fantastic over from Greenwood. Good to come back. Obviously leaked a boundary in there, but that's okay. That's the one that stayed in the air for a long period of time. Slight half chance. There's been a miscue in there as well. A couple of singles from the batters, and they're really looking to take the off spinner on. So interesting signs, but definitely on from the right end from my perspective.
So often that an off spinner can get the ball drifting past the bat. This is short. It's uppercut. It's coming towards the commentary box. And it's just hit the bottom edge of the sight screen. I thought I was in action there for a minute.
You nearly set off.
Came roaring past us. Bashard not able to cut it off. It was well out of his reach. Shocking short ball there from George Richardson. Well played from Batel. Uppercut for 4. Moves on to 76. Oh. There for a minute, Kaz.
Too much in front of me to get past, I reckon.
Oh, playing a miss. Again, George Richardson. It feels like he's coming on almost a different bowler. Yes, took a wicket in the first spell, but it feels like he's a changed man. He's bowling very, very nicely.
Yeah, this great rhythm, pace, exactly what you want from the fast bowler. It's good energy at the crease, good length, brilliant to see.
It's just got a little bit chillier here at Grainville. Richardson bounds in. Good length and cracked out to cover. Another shot from Patel where he stands tall, throws the hands as our camera operator seeks shelter. Richardson posing the right questions. As the flags quite fluttering with quite as much wind. 3 flags up there at the minute. Richardson's in, draws the edge. It doesn't carry through to keeper Dunford, who we've been very impressed by here in the commentary tent.
Yeah, very active keeper. I think he's just taken off his arm as he's rubbing. Bim seems to be rubbing his left arm. Maybe he's come off his arm there. And that would probably explain why the ball's sort of pitched short going en route to the keeper.
That's a good point. Took out the pace of the delivery there. Just been pitted out with a jersey quarter zip. Back of the length. This one's coming closer towards us. Great uppercut. Excellent effort from Charles Bashard. but he can't quite get it. Skipping along this now slightly skiddy, damp outfield. Great effort from him. But Richardson, he's got a couple of quick bouncers, but they've been put away with class by these two batters.
Yeah, and a great effort from the skipper there, racing away to the boundary, threw himself down to try and stop that ball. Really unlucky in the process, but a fantastic cricket shot and a T20 shot to explain the skills. But he had the pace and he had the trajectory on there.
Self Louis to that side of the shot from the young Suryavanshi. So whipping just over mid-wicket, not too far above his head. It's now in hot pursuit as it skips over the boundary rope for 4. And 4 more to Bim Sharkey as he's beginning to really get into this knock. 3 boundaries from that George Richardson over. Not a lot wrong with it, but it's been duly punished. Nepal 142 for 1. And these two now really getting into their innings. Vishal on 77. Sharkey moves to 39. He's starting to just pick up his scoring rate. I think we're going to get a change of attire from my co-commentator as well. You're listening to Charlie Harden and Kasim Ali, former Kuwait head coach, to provide analysis, and he's made a couple of brilliant calls already. And now we're going to see Greenwood continue. Now, we've been talking about this a little bit recently. With the off spin from this end, the wind is coming from right to left as the bowler looks down the pitch. And the drift off spinners get brings the ball in the air towards the left-hand side. And especially on pitches that might not be quite as receptive to spin, that drift can often bring the ball skidding past an outside edge when a batter might be expecting a little bit of turn back in towards the stump. So if Greenwood can get his line right here, we could be seeing a little bit of extra challenge for the batters. Now, long off has come in the ring. Deep cover is out. There's also 2 out on the deep square leg boundary, 1 slightly in front of square and 1 backward. Also long on as well, which this punch finds as a plane flies off in the distance from the Jersey airport. Wasn't long ago I was on that one. Greenwood stands at the top of his mark. Into the pitch, and the open face of the batter and Bim stays on 39. At what point do you think Jersey are going to start to get a little bit nervous here? Because yes, Nepal aren't going at a terrific rate. It's that reverse sweep. It's the shoulder of Dunford behind the stumps and is no run.
I think at 2 points here, obviously once they get to 35 overs and they've not taken a wicket, but also from Nepal's point of view, they probably want to see a couple more batters get involved, so that they might look to sort of bump out Kushal and get another person in just to get some time in on the wicket. But it's settled nicely for T20 cricket, isn't it?
Certainly is. That's a good call. Greenwood in. Down the track comes Bim. Completely mistimes it as it's towed back towards the bowler. Greenwood again building up the dots. And we've seen it. Quite an expansive attempt there from Bim. All left in the over. Single on the first balls, followed by 4 dot balls. This one's locked it up towards mid-off. Flatters into the thighs of groundsman Birrell. I think I've got to stop calling him groundsman Birrell because he's a very fine cricketer as well. Might call him cricketer Birrell. Anyway, 143 for 1, and a good over from Greenwood.
Yeah, impressive over there from Greenwood. He's gone for 16 off his 3. It's been a good start. Bim seems to be the one where I think he's just starting to hold up one end. Maybe needs to start moving on. It's difficult in these conditions as the bowling change once again comes through and Edwards comes back onto bowl here from the right end, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had 1 or 2 overs from this end, which weren't too much worse than the ones he's had from that end, but he was building up some good pressure before the change. Now he's back. Again, with the conventional drift that a leg spinner can get, the wind is helping it. But he's getting some good turn too. Now, I might have mentioned a little bit earlier a couple of pockets of blue sky that weren't actually there. There is now nothing at all, not even a debate. The cloud remains high. It's slightly dense and grey, though. Sweep shot from Bertel, expertly put away. Running down the slope. It's going to be 4 runs added. So he moves into the 80s, 82 now for Kushal. It's been that kind of day for him. I mean, I can't really think of a real chance. Yes, he slashed one to John C. Jenner, which was incredibly tight. That's when he just moved past 50. There was one at the beginning of the day with Samaroa taking the shoulder of his bat, but other than those 2 moments, he's looked class. He should power out towards deep cover. Good stop in the end.
Yeah, and often at this level, unfortunately, them half chances you're gonna have to convert. You don't often get full chances, and you're very lucky if you get them repeatedly. So half chances definitely you're gonna have to convert from somewhere. And the Jersey squad have definitely got that. They're fantastic in the field. There's some great outfielders. So they're just a matter of time now.
Hold him, bottom edge onto the stumps. Bim was looking to hit it over mid wicket, and it's the googly from Benjamin Ward, which takes the wicket. A brilliant little spell of bowling. He's been brought back on from the end. He was enjoying a little bit earlier in his spell. And he's taking the wicket now, Bim Sharkey, who falls to 39 from 63 balls. And he looked good at times, but also it felt like he was starting to absorb a little bit of pressure. And the breakthrough comes off the bowling of Benjamin Ward, and you've got to say, well deserved.
Absolutely well deserved. I've been very impressed with Benjamin Ward so far. Again, I think he's come on from the right end. He's a ball that delivers. I mean, I think there's been a bit of an inside edge there. It's gone rattling onto the bottom of the stumps, the base of the stumps, and fully deserved from my point of view.
Skipper's next out. Rohit Patel, who wasn't too disheartened about losing the toss and being put into bat. I think he was pretty happy about that, actually, to be honest, in his interview at the toss. But the Jersey players is exactly what they needed, a little breakthrough. Now, Rohit's an incredibly strong batter, coming in with plenty of experience.
Into the centre of the wicket, give some exposure. Captain's now in, because he was struggling a little bit there towards that passage of play, especially after drinks. Held up some crucial balls, and you could see the manner in which he was playing them shots in as well. He was just getting edgy as well.
Well, it's an interesting point for Paul to think about. He looks incredibly fluid at times, Bim Sharkey, but also at points, just as you say, that Kaz at times just dried up, couldn't find a way to keep the scoreboard ticking. Benjamin Ward flicks a ball from right to left. Now he's in. And that's a nice googly to start off with. Rohit reads it well. Starting off with the googly.
It's obvious. I mean, that's brilliant to see.
He hasn't missed a mark with that ball.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. And again, impressive to see.
Ward lobs it up, and nice shot from Rohit, diving Samaroa does the fielding. He covers a big area in there, doesn't he, Julius?
Yeah, he does. Big lad to get down, but he's done fantastically well. Great set of hands.
Driven in the air through cover. More work for Carline to do on the sweeping offside boundary. And that ends the over. 150 for 2, I'm going to say. Maybe 149. We'll get some confirmation in a minute. We'll say 149 for 2. Look at the scorecard. Bim Sharkey, the last to go on 39. Pulling that over. Big wicket there for Jersey, which has caused the Nepal fans to get a little bit quieter.
Yeah, speaker's gone off on it. Claps have gone, but they'll be animated soon enough. They're a group of fans that normally throughout the day lively as Greenwood continues from this pavilion end. That's what we're calling it.
I like it. Greenwood in. Returned to leg side by Rohit, who moves to 2. And there's the 150 for Nepal. Greenwood with a Dennis Lilly-like moustache. It's a very good piece of work there he's got. Little change in the field. Up comes Birrell from long off to mid off. As Kushal continues his innings in the calmly flat fashion he's played in throughout. 84 he moves on to.
Yeah, and what's impressive by him is the cricket intelligence that he's showing. Early doors didn't really get going, but then capitalized on in the middle period really, really well. Showed a flurry of explosive movement, boundaries, and also so great cricket intelligence.
A gust of wind and rain causes the umpires to have a little look at each other. Rohit pushing with a back foot weight transfer towards Birrell, who puts up and throws back in. He changes the man slightly more set. A deep leg side field gets stocked up with then either side square. Drag down from Greenwood is dropped into leg for no run. Nick Greenwood continuing his spell of bowling with similar patience. He's not going searching for a wicket. He's looking just to dry up the Nepalese batters.
Balls.
And appreciation from his teammates as he closes out another good over. Nepal sit 152 for 2. The main man, Kushal, on 84. Rohit on 3. And another good over from Greenwood comes to an end.
Yeah, fantastic over there from Nick Greenwood there. 19 off 4 overs, only leaking 3 singles. Great area, good pace. As the rain starts to come in slowly.
It's consistent drizzle for the minute, and it's always made worse by a heavy gust. The clouds seem to be getting slightly lighter, but the rain is getting slightly heavier. We're going to continue here, though, through Benjamin Ward with the breakthrough in the last over of Bim Sharkey. Very full into the toes of the Nepal skipper.
Ground stuff have got it just about accurate, haven't they? They said there was going to be a little bit of something coming down around about 1 o'clock, and right on cue we have a little bit of something coming down at 1 o'clock.
Beautiful crunching stroke through point. Glorious. And the Nepal skipper. So often through that area we've seen runs today. Square of the wicket on the offside, slashed with power and time to perfection, skipping along the square, and it's 4 more.
Yeah, he's made that look really, really easy, hasn't he? Just over pitched slightly, allowed the batter just to sort of drive hard, gone past Jenner, who's not really moved at all, gone trashing to the boundary.
Cut shot, beats a diving Jenner, good stop in the end. One-handed stop. Ward now has the ball back in hand, using the towel to good effect. Here comes Ward again. Solid defence from Rohit. They look for a quick single. Good work from Jenner as he throws to the non-striker's end. The rain's getting quite a lot heavier now. But we're safe in the tent with a good bit of manoeuvring with certain gadgets. Umpires seem pretty keen to Keep going out there, though.
Not quite sure the players are though.
Especially not Patel, who sits on 85. I think he'd be pretty happy to go running in for an early lunch. As this one spins in through the gate, the googly has been masterfully today by Benjamin Ward, running back to the top of his mark now. Maybe he sees a potential break and play incoming. Ward bowls slightly more on a leg stump line. And the umpires, I think, are going to call a rain break here, signalling on the covers, which seem to be brought together by a tractor. As Grace Witherall, some Jersey woman, the assistant groundkeeper, is running out to go and support with the cover application. But this gives us a nice time here to reflect here, Kaz. With 31 overs gone, Nepal's at 158 for 2. And Jersey, they should not be too disheartened, should they? Yes, a good batter in Kushal Patel has hit a magnificent 85 not out, but Jersey have bowled well enough to keep themselves in the game. And it's when you start adding a couple of wickets on, if that's 158 for 4 from 31 overs, all of a sudden Jersey are in a great position.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just after the drinks, if we reflect back to the last break, I think what Jersey have done really good. Nepal sort of took the 5 overs after drinks for me. And then since then, it's all been Jersey. They've kept on the pressure. They've done really well. Interesting to see how these two batters are going to come back out after this rain break. But they've done really, really well. Really impressed by Jersey and really impressed by the bowlers that have come on to slow the game down a bit.
Well, thanks for that, Kazim. That's Kazim Ali you're listening to, previously head coach of Q8. I'm Charlie Harden. We're going to take a short break for the rain, or we hope it's short, as it's beginning to get a little bit brighter. But soon we'll be back, hopefully with some more cricket here at Grainville. Well, welcome back, everybody, to Grainville, where Jersey facing Nepal, and it's been a good tussle so far. 158 for 2 in Nepal, with the main man, Kushal Patel, on a magnificent 85. The new man, the skipper, Rohit Padel, is on 8. As you can see, the scorecard there in full. Just 2 wickets gone so far. The opener, massive shake, falling for 16, a brilliant Yorker from George Richardson. And then it was Ward who dismissed Sharkey for 39. The game sits in the balance. We've had discussions with plenty of the Jersey players, a couple of the Nepal players as well. And 158 for 2 on Charlie Harden, joined alongside by Kasim Ali, former head coach at Kuwait. Kasim, good to hear your thoughts on current game situation. Where do you think it stands?
Well, at the moment, I think Jersey have just brought the game back into potential candidates of reducing that target. At one point we were looking at 300, and it's probably still on, but this rain break has given them an opportunity just to break the momentum. I thought the last 10 overs Jersey were fantastic just before the the rain interval, and I thought the bowlers have pulled it back nicely. Whereas Nepal at the moment, they've obviously got the captain who's just come into the crease. It'll be interesting to see whether they can pick the momentum up again and continue going towards that 300.
We've got some interesting scenes. We were due to start again at 2:39, which is the current time, and the rain continues just to patter on the top of our tent here. And the umpires have come on. They've walked off. Now one of them is lingering on. The Jersey players have warmed up and have started to walk off. Whether that's a sign that they're ready for the game to start, or whether they're walking off, we do not quite know yet. What we're going to assume is, as I can't quite hear the rain pattering quite as hard, maybe we'll see the players return. Well, Kazim, in the meantime, let's talk about Kushal Patel. In top class, you can see the batters ready to emerge. Patel's going to be knocked out on 85 and Rohit Patel on 8. And here come the Jersey men in the red and blue, looking forward to making a few breakthroughs. Hopefully, we were having a good chat with the Jersey head coach, weren't we, Neil McRae, saying that maybe this could be the rain break that Jersey needed to pause the momentum of the Nepal batters and maybe come back and take a breakthrough and almost start fresh.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how both sides sort of adapt to the rain break. Obviously, momentum towards the back end of the rain break, or the start of the rain break, sorry, was with Jersey. And if they could just pick a couple of more wickets up, maybe that 300 looks more like 250. And then from Nepal's point of view, it's about trying to kick on as quickly as possible. But obviously, with 19 overs left in the 10th, when do they start going and how quickly do they start lingering on? Because there's still rain on the ground. There's still going to be some surface rain there. Does that ball get wet? Does it get heavier? All these little factors are now starting to creep in.
So, as you mentioned there, with the rain, just maybe on the parts of the pitch, it's well covered here, but it's also just been uncovered for a little period just before we went back out to play, where the rain has begun just to drizzle. Greenwood's going to come onto bowl, bit of off spin. I think that's the right call. A bit of skid from the off spinner, or would you maybe think about a bit of pace from the other end?
I definitely think pace at the other end. I think George, his over balled before we went off was electric. It was fantastic, but he's obviously at 25 minutes and some chips and rice inside him. So not sure how well he's going to start, but I would definitely start with him. And Greenwood from this side again, bowling into what is the bowling into the shorter boundary, but obviously the wind is the factor into there. So maybe a tempter in there to try and pull some early wickets.
Well, here we go then. The breeze continues to blow. Very, very light drizzle at the minute, but not hard enough to force the players off. Right then, play continues. And it starts with a quick single into the offside from Kushal Patel. Moves to 86. Now, I think the fans, especially in the hospitality under the marquee, United will have applause at that. First time they've been a bit noisier than the Nepal fans up on the bank over there. I'm sure they'll have something to say about that.
Yeah, they will, and they've travelled well. The Nepal guys, they've speaking to them at the interval break. Some have come across from London, some are already in Jersey and live in Jersey, so they're supporting the national team. So it's great to see. I'm going to be as loud as ever.
Pushing shot outside the off stump. Good work behind stumps. From Dumford, he's impressed us both around the gate. Just that previous delivery showing signs of a bit of extra skid off the surface, perhaps.
Yeah, and that's the danger you're going to get with a little bit of rain break, covers coming off early, a little bit of surface rain on top. It's going to skid through, which could play into the favour or hands of the Bulls, where it's just skidding through. If you can get the line right, miscued shot, mistimed shot, anything could happen from there.
Quick single taken into the leg side. Nice knee slide out there from Richardson. That's going to end the over for Greenwood. 160 for 2. Very, very interesting point in the game for there to be a break. And so often, when it gets into the last 20, these 50 over games, when you've got 2 set batters, especially one who's going at the rate that Patel is going, it's almost the perfect opportunity then to kick on with the innings and start to up the run rate. But now, after the rain break, these batters have got to get set again.
Yeah, and it's always I often find it's a little bit of a disadvantage for the batters. Momentum-wise, used to the pace, used to the pitch, used to obviously the deliveries that are coming down and at the crease every single minute. Whereas they've just had 25-minute break, food inside them. They're having to kickstart again, and that might just take 3 or 4, 5, 6 overs out of the game, and potentially you're left with 10 overs, 12 overs, to bat to get to your score. So it's how quickly these guys can get to that 200 mark and then kick on from there.
Well, it's Birrell then to come on from the far end. Comfort standing up to him. Didn't opt to do that earlier in the game when Birrell was roaring in with the new ball. So I wonder if we'll see a little bit more of his slower deliveries that he was whipping out with consistency in his earlier spell. Just back of a length, Rohit quite keen to take the single, but good work from Jonty Jenner in the offside, who we found out from during the break that there was a chance when Kushal Patel, it's a late cut, slightly loftily towards backward point off the bowling of Benjamin Ward. I think he just got to 50 at the time, and Jonty Jenner was there at backward a point, and apparently it just carried.
Yeah.
Turned down towards short fine leg. Charles Kushal does the fielding. And talking to the Jersey players, they all agreed that there's none they would have probably wanted more under that ball at the time.
Yeah, he's a fantastic fielder. Jenner is renowned for some excellent contribution towards Jersey's fielding unit. And him himself has confessed to me that there was a definite chance there.
Slow ball, Yorker. Bales went flying off, not because it was bowled, but some more quick hands from Dumford. Yeah, Jenner's played a huge role in keeping up the intensity of Jersey in the field. They've been able to stay on top of this game through periods of mighty fine ground fielding. Hot shot down towards third man. It's racing away, and it's 4 runs. No chance for any fielder anywhere near it. Skipped along this newly skiddy outfield. He's run away for 4, 165 for 2.
Yeah, good quality cricket shot. Any youngsters or any budding cricketers that are watching, played it really late under his eyes, fast hands through the acceleration of the bat speed that was there and guided it down towards backward point, vacant area. Fantastic, fantastic cricket shot.
Birrell running into the man on 90. Patel drives down the ground up towards mid-off. That's got the Nepal fans back up on their feet. Out there at deep backward point. Thoroughly enjoying the return of their start. And Birrell needs to find a way to counter-attack Patel as he looks to regain his rhythm. Short ball, it's off the glove. It's popped out towards Richardson at third man. It's taken several bounces before reaching him. Like an attempted uppercut, maybe just gripped in the surface, maybe slowed up or maybe cutted back in slightly. A decent over from Birrell comes to an end. Just 7 runs from it. 166 for 2 now. Nepal.
Yeah, good steady start after the break. Rohit contributing 10 of 18 balls there. Kushal pushing up to 91 of 97. Just how quickly he can now start to accelerate towards the milestone, whether that plays on his mind or not. But it'll be interesting to see how Nick Greenwood over here can still extract a little bit of turn, whether he can add some pressure on and keep slowing the game down as much as possible.
Kushal whips it away. That's a deep square, moves to 92 from 98 deliveries. They'll be looking to continue pitching the ball up, getting a little bit of skid, maybe continue that drift with the breeze that remains in the air. Shot from Rohit. But also looking to build innings. He didn't get much time before the rain break, but he's a player of class experience. He'll be playing the right way. Yeah, more intense. It's felt like a small thing that they've improved throughout the innings.
Yeah, and I think that was largely down to him coming in and starting to accelerate.
Yes.
Picking up the cheeky singles, if you would like to say, inside the circle.
He was busy. And Greenwood continues to join together good deliveries. Jersey head coach impressed with both his spinners today. Greenwood and Ward have worked very well, often in tandem. Wonder how long it'll be before we see Ben Ward come back on. Some brilliant googlies today. Greenwood gets down well to cut off the single. Summeroa just at the end of the over there, 168 for 2. He's in that position, which I love, where he's at mid wicket and his job at times is to do his absolute utmost to stop a single going up to long on. It can be quite an easy milking way to keep the scoreboard ticking over. And when you got a nimble mid wicket fielder to the spinner, who's got long levers to protect a large amount of space, it's brilliant when you keep the pressure on and cut off those easy single up to long on.
Yeah, he covers a lot of ground, and he has been peppered today at cover.
He's been brilliant.
He's been fantastic in the field, and he's definitely backed it up with his bowling as well. So good all round.
Birrell then to bowl to the Nepal captain. He's done so well today. He has produced the odd ball. He's done a little bit extra, and he's used his pace well. One seemed to not quite jump up as high. Rohit's motioning there with his right hand. Do you reckon we'll see it as a result of the rain, maybe slight changes which we talked about, the skinniness, but any variation in bounce, maybe?
I personally think there'll be a two-pace bounce. So I think there'll be some that pop up like the one that we've just seen, and then there'll be later on, I think couple of people will sneak through. But I think this is an excellent sort of start from Beryl. He's done exactly what's required, and seems like the perfect combination on these conditions in this situation right now, obviously after the rain break. So really well done to the Jersey team.
Well, at the end of this over, we'll have a little think about a score with 15 overs to go after this one that Nepal might be happy with. Beryl bounds in. Shallow leg side, pops out towards deep square leg and gone. Skip it apart. He can only make 15 before finding the deep man. I reckon the wind might have carried it out a little bit further than he intended. As well taken by Patrick Googe on the deep square leg boundary. And Beryl takes a well-deserved wicket.
Fantastic layer breakthrough that for Beryl. I would say he's probably earned that in the last two, overs or 1.5 that he's bowled. He's been bowling consistently well, and it's come against the run of play. The wind has carried that a little bit further than what maybe is expected, and 5 yards either side, that would have been a boundary.
Indeed, it would have been. Seemed to pick it up pretty nicely. It didn't look too bad to be hit, and he got away with some pretty good timing, but just found the man out in the deep. And the hospitality's got a little bit noisier here at Granville. So it looks like there might be a school trip, or maybe a sports fixture that have brought some extra Jersey fans to the ground. A few buses out there watching a little bit of cricket. And as the drinks came on very briefly, we've got a new batter at the crease. Ishan Pandey. He's going to be facing up. He's wearing the jumper vest, which is remarkably similar to the jersey colours. But he's getting himself loose, getting himself warm. And left-hander. We're causing a few extra thoughts to this Jersey side. Beryl to come round the wicket. Third man out on the boundary. Deep cover point. The man who just took the catch, Patrick Googe. Nepal now 172 for 3. And as Pandey has a scan of the leg side field, he's now ready to go. Good stop behind the stumps there from Dunford. That was not an easy one, especially coming from round the wicket, Beryl. That would have gone a long way down the leg side, and Dunford looking over, I think, hoping for a little bit of praise maybe from the commentators. He's got some. An interesting field here with the two men out deep on the leg side. Good length ball again, just popping up, as you mentioned there, Cass. That occasional little pop up showing the two pace of the wicket.
Yeah, and I think he's read the pitch as he should really well. I'm sure he's got plenty of experience being further older. But he's definitely putting in the right areas, and that's all you can ask for from a bowling perspective right now. Really challenge the batter, challenge line and length, and let the pitch play its natural game. Beautiful.
Back of the length again, beating the bat. There it is from Beryl. Brilliant over. Very impressive. And he takes the wicket too. Well deserved. 173 for 3. Very impressive there from Beryl. I don't think he's got any relation to South African head coach. Well, not head coach of South Africa. He is South African and also used to be head coach of Hampshire, A.D. Beryl. No link there, I don't think.
Sure.
Pretty sure. I mean, I'd be pretty impressive if a South African man of 80 barrels caliber is related to an equal caliber groundsman here at Jersey. Brilliant cricketer too. Greenwood in the leading edge, perhaps showing that maybe the two paces affecting the spinner as well.
Yep, rain affected break can cause a lot of things to happen. We're just starting to see a little bit of that now.
Down a track, Kushal, bottom edging through the legs of the keeper. It's running away to the boundary. They're going to come back for a second, so Kushal moves on to 94, sorry. Got away with something there.
Yeah, under edge, Rad, look at some at times. I'm sure that's a lapse in concentration and execution.
Greenwood's in again. Kushal turns it into leg. I don't think I can see Kushal going for a 6 to do it. I can't see that happening. What do you think?
Never say never. I mean, everything's on. Off spinner in, hitting towards a shorter boundary. If you would probably consider that as a
Turns into square. That was a definite chance for a run out. And judging by the reaction of the fielder lying on the floor, I think it's the skipper, Charles Bouchard. I reckon he would have been miles out there, Ishan Pandey. Although we don't have the best view.
I've got to admit, he was slow to get going. Kushal has nipped that into the leg side, set off. Ishan was slow to get going, and it's difficult after a rain break. You've been sat around for 30 odd overs.
After a lunch break too. That's struck about. That's close. Huge appeal from behind the bowler's arm. Umpire looks to still be thinking about it. Maybe just sliding down leg. That looks mightily close.
It did indeed, and that's excellent bowling from Greenwood, targeting the stumps. And again, Ishan just seems to be a little bit off the match pace, a little bit.
Now round the wicket, Greenwood to the left-hander. Inside edge brings a single. And Kushal, man 5 away, will go to the opposite end and stay off strike for the start of the next over. Earls continue then. And these two building up some good pressure. And would you agree the rain break has helped Jersey?
I think it's definitely slowed the momentum down and the shift in gear that was supposed to come from Nepal. Absolutely. And as you're building up towards the last 15 overs, you're definitely looking to go off and get going. But yeah, 100% agree. Jersey are taking full advantage of this rain break.
Well, Birrell was the man to take the wicket after the delay. Leg, that's a chance for a stumping. Incredible piece of work from Jake Dumford. What keepers' dreams are made of. Standing up to the pacer, taking down the leg side, and a whip of the bails. As the new batter, Pandey looked to turn it down towards his fine leg. Now we have raved about this, but that is world-class wicket-keeping. 177 for 4.
Yeah, fantastic little bit of work there from the gloveman behind. Excellent takedown leg side. Awareness, speed, and execution. 3 fantastic attributes from a keeping perspective. And again, Ishan just looked a little bit slow to maneuver around. Again, it didn't look convincing to me. Although he got a single in the process, but it didn't look convincing to me at all.
Yeah, Pandey wasn't in the squad for Nepal's last fixture, that T20 final against Hong Kong, so not a performance he would have hoped for. But the new batter, Arif Sheikh, in at number 6. And that rain break, as we mentioned, has definitely served Jersey a huge favour, but it was definitely up to them to make sure it counted. And Jersey, arguably, we said before the drinks break, add 2 wickets on, and 177 for 4 looks incredibly different now. They've made them pay.
Yeah, and Beryl's been fantastic. He's put the ball in the right area, use the variations, allow the pitch to play the demons, if you like. But he's been fantastic. Great bit of glove work to support. Fantastic team performance.
Defense from you batter shake. And the dynamic has changed out there now. Jersey sound on top. They feel on top. The momentum is definitely going the way of the men in red and blue. Nice drive to get off the mark for Sheikh. First two in a while from the Nepalese contingent up on the bank. And Birrell, the man to take both wickets after the delay, has been an inspired bowling decision.
Yeah, and I think on this sort of wicket, this sort of surface, the ideal bowler to be bowling. George obviously brings a lot of pace, but the variation that Birrell's has is fantastic.
So Kushal now 5 runs away. A couple of balls left in the over. So from 172 for 2 to 177 for 4 in Nepal. Could this be the start of a mini collapse? Who knows? Birrell with ball in hand could be the man to do the damage. Struck on the pad, that's straight. Umpire very quick to deny. Perhaps just going flying down the leg side.
Yeah, just on the angle, and the shot very quickly turned down. But again, first time he's been beaten, struck on the pads, great shot. And it's the nervous 90s, dare I say it.
Man on 95 then. Driving down the ground, moves to 96 to end the over. I dare say it. I'm beginning to feeling we might hit quite a big cheer if Patel does get over the line.
You're not. Curse the batsman over here.
Oh no, it's what I'm saying here. I could curse him. Opting not to though. That'd be wrong. Feel like I'd never be allowed to go to Nepal if I did. Greenwood then. One shot away is Patel. Pandey, the last man to go. Kushal turns it to leg. Grabs a single. Moves 1 run closer. Jersey doing all the right things now. I'd say Kaz, nothing really they could do on top of this to build any extra force moving forward, but they've played so well since the rain break.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely taking the momentum break with them. They've bowled in the right areas. They look sharp in the field, so it's great to see.
Confident punch off the back foot from Sheikh. He's looked a little bit calmer than Pandey, I'd say. Now, the long-on fielder has just called for Greenwood to pause. And I think Birrell, maybe because he's mid-spell, slightly forgot he had to be in for this ball, where he's in and out mid-off. And the man on 97 drops it into the leg side.
Mid-off coming up, I think that's a little bit of a tempter for him. See if he's going to go over the top or whether he's still going to continue to stay in the process and pick up some singles.
Flick down towards spine leg. Could this be the moment for Kushal? It's running away towards the rope. Good start, well retrieved. And it will just be 2. Brilliant work out there Could that be the kind of moment that could maybe bring about a big moment? Who knows? Sometimes a good piece of fielding can just cause something to happen. Pushed into third man, there's no run. Kushal on 99. Bertel has played magnificently today. And Greenwood, the bowler, right arm over, pauses in the run. Resets. Bertel stands ready. Turns it into leg, and there it is. Brilliance from Bertel. A terrific knock. The Nepalese fans are going berserk. And it's been a terrific show of shot making. So good off the back foot. Picking up on length so quickly, especially to the fast bowlers. And Bertel has oozed class throughout his entire knock. Yes, he was put down on 50. It was a tough chance. But he's a fan favourite. And some player is Kushal Bertel. He moves to 100. And as you can see there, the Nepalese fans are loving it. Why not the main man?
Fantastic knot, held it really well.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
I mean, just reflecting on Nick Greenwood's 10 overs there, 40 for 2. He deserved 2 wickets. I mean, that was impressive bowling, and he's been involved in a passage of play there for Jersey that have really brought the game and shifted the momentum back towards them. So it's been excellent from Nick Greenwood. Finished his spell there, bowling really well. Wondering whether now Benjamin Ward can get on in the action. 3 overs to pick up another couple of wickets. See how effective that googly is.
Well, it's slightly short ball. It's guided to short third, no run. Be interested to hear your thoughts on what do you think the Nepal bowling outfit would have gained from watching this spell from Jersey. It's outside edge, just pause for Shard. He does well to stop it, prevent a single.
Yeah, I think what we've seen in front of us for 42 overs is there's definitely pace in the pitch early doors with a new ball. I think the slower you bowl it in the second stage of the game, take some pace off with some quality pressure.
Slap down the ground, good hand on it from Ward. Now, just a quick reminder that because we got on just in time, we did avoid any overs being lost after the rain delay. Lunch is taken during it. The leading edge goes out to deep cover. And it's just been a terrific period of bowling here for Jersey. And just a reminder, Nepal at one point were 172 for 2 during the 35th over. And now, in the 43rd, they sit 204 for 6. And Ward is also a man that feels he might deserve an extra wicket or 2. Lobbed up, ball outside the off stump. Brilliant diving stop. A little bit of body in the way action there from Brennan out in the deep. Really not easy out there, having had a chat with Carline, who spent a lot of his time out in the deep on the cover boundary. Brilliant stop this time from Brennan.
Yeah, fantastic bit of commitment on the boundary line. That's exactly what you want from a bowling perspective. If you can see your fielders diving out around for you to stop them crucial runs, that could be the difference between a match-winning couple of runs. So great bit of commitment on the boundary there.
That's what Jersey have done so well today, isn't it? That pressure on through terrific ground fielding. And that catch from Jenner is a perfect example of how good they've been.
Yeah, the standards have been good. I've been really impressed. And equally, I can see Nepal doing the same. They're a fantastic fielding side. They've got some great individual people in there who are quick around inside the circle, and they will definitely put that pressure on.
Well, we're going to see Pershard then. Got 4 overs left. And is that caught behind? The umpire's given him another terrific piece of work behind the stumps from Jake Dumford. He hasn't put a single foot wrong today. He's done so much standing up to both pace and spin. And again, another brilliant take behind the stumps. And it was a ball that found the edge. Good change of bowling here. Charles Bashard chugging in on the axe. He gets his first of the day. And Nepal are struggling now at 206 for 7.
Fantastic bit of glove work that behind the stumps. He's looked quality all day. Outside edge. Don't think the batter was overly convinced that he had hit it. The late delay and the umpire giving it. But that was a fantastic delivery. And another wicket goes down. 206 for 7. Now, at the start of the 43rd over, 260 looks way off.
So Dumford, that's his second wicket contribution of the day. I don't think I'll forget his stumping down the leg side in a while off the bowling of Birrell. That was Ishan Pandey who fell, that made it 177 for 4. That feels like a long time ago now, as Nepal sits 7 down at a score which, at the moment, Jersey would back themselves to chase. So a rumble of thunder goes on from behind us. Karen KC, the new batter, runs that away. And Danny, at the other end, has had to sit and watch quite a lot happen from the other end. As this time, batter blocks it out to cover. So I think has that spin bowling department for Nepal might just be licking their lips a little bit here. Prashad is in. And again, guided down to third. Not because of any distinct turn, but just because of how challenging it has looked for batters to get the spin away.
Yeah, absolutely. And experienced spinners like Sandeep Lemachane, he's bowled around the world, so he'll know exactly how to extract a little bit of spin, but also make it really difficult for the Jersey batters. And I'm sure the batters are also looking forward to playing against him. So that'll be an experience in itself. So, yeah, I think it's a good matchup.
Crunched out, so long on. And it's Jenner to do the fielding. Judging by the massive cheer from the fans at deep mid wicket now, I thought it was running away before, but Jenner was right there.
I think it's a cheer per delivery per run.
Or just out the middle of the bat, I think. Sure draws a defence to finish another brilliant over for Jersey. And Nepal, their gradual collapse continues. I don't think they'll be looking to really kick on now. I reckon they'll just be focusing on seeing out the remaining overs. They can make sure they face every single delivery on offer. That feels a little bit better than throwing the bat away and getting all out for a lower score.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, from a cricket perspective, you want to bat all 50 overs. Yeah, you want to make sure that you've had your full allotted allocation and see how far you can get. And it's another chance just for somebody else to end up towards the back end of the innings as a constant thunder rumbles behind us.
Well, I think I counted about 10 seconds between a small flash and a rumble. It's a flowing drive from Dammy. It's Greenwood out at long off. Who we should mention, a terrific 10 overs from him. He started from the far end with 1 or 2 overs. Couldn't quite get it to work. And he finished his spell throughout from this end and bowled brilliantly. Or bowls full. Another good stop. Samaroa he's been in the wars in the covers. He's been very good in there too. On the front foot there, guiding it to short third. Prashad with a tumbling stop. And now with just a handful of overs to go, Jersey are well in the driving seat. Or drops it short, a cut hits Jenner, who fields well. What do you think was more impressive, the stumping down the leg side or Jenner's catch running in?
Equally, two different merited wickets and deserve recognition equally. as much as possible. The electric movement down leg side from the keeper was fantastic. The awareness and the execution, but Jenner's perseverance, his ability to judge the length, the ball coming out, the dive was 10 out of 10 for them.
Yeah, part of me thinks that. I mean, Jenner wasn't sprinting, was it? It was
7 of 45, 5 overs to go now. Can they kick on? Can they kick on and see what they can get in the last 5 overs? Prashad coming in, just a last minute adjustment. Keeper not quite happy. Finally coming back inside the ring.
short ball from Pashad. Dab down, running back to the top of his mark almost. It's broken back into a walk though. Danny plays it cautiously. And Jersey, a lot of happy faces out there, and why not? 213 for 7 from where Nepal could be, considering that also includes a world-class century at the top of the order from Kushal Patel. That one's been cracked over extra cover. It's taken a big skip and hop off the outfield. And a slide from Patrick Googe keeps it in. Brilliant work, and Birrell clears up the rest. Looks like, well, Googe ended up sliding miles over the rope. He did very well to keep it in, almost dragged it over with him.
Yeah, fantastic bit of fielding work, group fielding work there from Jersey, and a good cricket shot. I think maybe that's the sign. Maybe that's the sign. Things are starting to move as the field starts to spread back out again. Beryl coming back into mid off, long off, sorry.
A huge swing. We're becoming very accustomed to watching the ball nestle into the gloves of Dumford.
I think you've still got to play smart cricket here. You've got a big breeze still coming across the ground. You cannot be hitting into the breeze with pace off. You know, that you're just asking for a wicket to be tumbling there. Still got to hit long, strong shots as much as possible.
A push. And KC runs out towards third man for a single. It's interesting tactic, and I wonder whether you'd rather the two batters now with 4 and a bit overs to go be more aggressive. For sharp bowls and it picks up off a length, and they can just get a single. A disgruntled Prashad picks up his jumper, and that is an end to the over. 217 for 7.
Yeah, with 24 balls to go now, I would like to see a great deal of intent come in. Wickets still in the tent, not a problem. We've still got batters who can come on and hit the ball as much as possible. You know, if they can get up to that 250 mark, that's something they should be eyeing up. You know, hopefully the Jersey boys close out this innings and pick up 3 wickets as quickly as possible in the process. But it'll be interesting to see what this last 4 overs gives us. Where's your money?
I reckon Jersey might take a couple more here. There comes a big swing, and Dunford, you wouldn't believe it, he's put one down. Maybe it might have just taken a bit of bat on the way through, but it's always so tricky when the batter comes down the wicket and just beats the bat at about a Yorker length. Keeper's got to stay low, and Dunford just mishandles that one. A flashing cut shot goes out towards Brennan out at deep cover. So a single comes there. 290 18 for 7 now. Yeah, it's gonna be, it's now that time when Nepal are gonna think about really having a rate, and they might give away a few chances, but they might maybe get lucky and get a few boundaries away.
Yeah, I'm still going still going to 260.
And that, I think, is a 4 down the ground. Brilliant shot from KC. Just as Kasim says 260 might be on the cards, a boundary comes his way.
Yeah, I'm edging that way towards 260. I still think they've got plenty in the tent left.
Dab down to third man, beats a diving Pashard. A huge cheer tells you the story. 4 more. And 227 for 7. Nepal is showing it. Just a couple of shots, and they're back in this game, knocking on the 250 door.
Got the nod of approval from the cameraman who's giving me the 260 as well. So yeah, I think we're there.
Well, I said a pretty bold shout at one point, didn't I? About under 250. That's 23 to go now to the 250 mark. That has gone really high. Field of Good is coming in. This is going to take some catching.
Direct catch.
Brilliant work from him. That's his second catch of the game. Went miles up into the stars. An almighty hit from KC. And he's now just motioning how long he had to wait and stare up into the white sky to take that catch. Brilliant catch from Googe. 227 for 8. Karan goes for 13.
Yeah, danger man Karan there going for 13. Benjamin's picking up another wicket, 55 off his 9.4 overs, and that's his second wicket there. Deserved that really, really well. It's just about now whether they can close out as quickly as possible.
So another good wicket there for Ward. The new batter, number 25, is one of their star bowlers, Sandeep Lamachani. I think by the look of the discussions going on in the middle there, I think Patrick Googe is motioning to how much the ball was swirling in the air.
Yeah, he's done well. He's kept his eye on it. A great little tip for youngsters who are watching the cricket. Judge it as late as possible. Movement slow. Get into position quite early and watch it all the way into the mitts.
Yeah, he's been top class out there. Not long ago, he did a brilliant diving stop. Got a huge amount of ground out towards deep square leg. Pulled off a brilliant stop. Sandeep Lamachani in the long sleeves and the jumper. Waits forward. Cuts off the back foot. Jenner picks up. Thinks about a throw, but ends up holding, knowing that there was no one to back it up. 227 for 8. Maybe, just maybe the 250 mark is a little bit harder to get over there, Kasim.
Yeah, my hopes were high when Karen KC was in, and he was just starting to maneuver and loosen his shoulders up. Wicket at the right time for Jersey. 227 for 8. Sandeep can still hit. I mean, he's still got ability to hit the ball. We have a change of bowling coming in from the pavilion end, and it's your man again.
The big man. Samaroa. He was terrific with that new ball. He came back on in the middle overs. Looked pretty menacing, but not quite as menacing as he did at the start of the day. But now he's back on, and these kind of bowling changes are interesting. When there's pace on the ball, a bit of extra bounce, sometimes it flies away to the boundary. But this is one of their star bowlers who could make it. A big impact. He's having a big, loud discussion with Charles Bashard and the man at long on, John C. Jenner. He's now going to come in.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got plenty of variation towards the back end of the game. It's be interesting to see how well he executes that.
Sandeep Lamichhane has been beaten all ends up by a good delivery from Samaroa. I was about to ask, what do you think Samaroa is going to be looking to bowl here now? He was getting a lot of success just on back of a length earlier on. Where are we looking to bowl at the death?
Look, traditionally, conventional death bowling is take the length away and bowl block hole or bowl yorkers, bowl your bouncer, bowl your variation slow ball. What you don't want to be doing is giving length. And this is going to be very interesting between these two. Because that was length with pace. And Sandeep's taken a whole kitchen sink at it.
It was a big old swing, wasn't it? And to be fair to him, if he connected, he'd have gone into the scoreboard. But Charles Bouchard now having a little discussion with Samaroa, maybe a little hint. Third man's come finer. Short, and Sandeep backs away and can only pass it back to Samaroa. It's been brilliant bowling from him, even though he will probably only be able to fit in 2 overs before the end of this innings. That's the mark. If they can get over just because of that. Collapse of wickets they had from 172 for 2. I think if they can get over to the line to 250, I don't think they'll be too disheartened.
Yeah, good psychological marker as well to get over 250.
Down leg, Lamichhane does well to squeeze it out towards fine leg, thinking about 2. I reckon it would have been close, but it was probably the right decision to just settle for 1. 2, 3, 4 for 8. Samaroa is calling for fine leg to come back up. So strong in the middle overs, then to bring back pace always seems to be the traditional play, doesn't it? But that's been run through the gap. A diving Ben Ward might have just got a fine tickle on it. It's running out towards a far pocket of the ground, and they're limited to 2 thanks to a good bit of coverage from Brennan out in the deep. Amachani's good little cameo here from him. And we're looking forward to getting stuck in with his bowling spell a little bit later. Well, you might be able to hear it on the microphones. I doubt it. However, another rumble goes off behind us. We're hoping it's far enough away. No sign of rain just yet. Big swing from Dammy out into a gap between two deep fielders. They're converging. It will just be a single. And Pershard now sends out short third to the boundary. Amachani has found a little bit of success running the ball down to that area. Fine legs in the ring. All three men deep out left side. Long off comes in the circle. Deep cover is out as well. Slapping shot up towards long off and beats him.
Discussion out. Leg umpires coming up to the stumps.
It sounds heavier rain, doesn't it? We've heard a lot of the towards that mark as the tractor starts whirring up and brings the covers on. And if that is the end of the first innings, 246 for 8, would you say honours even or advantage Jersey?
Advantage Jersey. Definitely. The way they've come back after the first interval, Prince break, rain break, I think they've done really, really well, remarkably well. Ball has been fantastic, eagerly supported by the fielders. Some fantastic individual work, catching, and the boundary riders have really done their job as well. So fantastic bit of player cricket there.
Bim Sharkey with 39 at number 3. Ward got in with a slightly low bouncing googly. 32 also not out for Dammy. They've been the pick of the batters. Short little spell of good batting from Captain Rohit Patel, but look at that man at the top. When LBW, tricky decision, caught on the shoulder, but the shoulder was very low, so it could have been going onto the stumps. 105 from 117. from Kushal Patel. It was a brilliant knock from him. And with 4 or 5 balls left in the set amount of 50 overs, Nepal going at that 5 runs per over rate. You say are on. So we'll be back as soon as we possibly can. Thank you for listening. We're here at Greenville.